say. There's plenty of toads back there. I got 2 dozen toads and donut holes. I certainly don't want to eat them off myself. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
We have a good old fashioned.
A particular passage from our reading here this morning. If you are reading red readings, it is from Psalm 100. And I'll just get it started off and then we'll start some singing. It says, let the whole earth shout triumphantly to God. Yeah, that image in your head. The whole earth shall triumphantly to God. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful songs. Acknowledge that the Lord is God. He made us, and we are his people, the sheep of his pasture. And it says this: enter his gates with thanksgiving, and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him, and bless his name. For the Lord is good, and his faithful love endures forever. It all depends on the translation. His faithfulness through all generations. Let's stand and sing and worship the Lord here this morning. Sing out there. We've got new ones here, I don't think, this morning. So all old familiar things that you all can join me and sing and share.
Don't you know that's not your name? For you
taking a little breath here so I can catch my breath. And anybody have a testimony or a praise you want to share right quick?
I'm so good to be here.
It's great to have you here.
Yes, great.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful
Praise
for
the Lord.
God being with me during surgery. Everything went well, and He was just good. I haven't even needed any pain medicine. It's just a little leave a day, like I normally take. It's been sufficient good.
Praise the Lord. Are you praying with the prayers?
Brother Jim, I just want to say something. Take 1 minute to say this. I believe I've been tested twice since I started working in a job at the Cultural Arts Center. You know, it's supposed to be open for everybody. You know, no discrimination. No matter where you're from, you are welcome at the Cultural Arts Center. And so there are a lot of Muslims at the Cultural Arts Center. And I've had two that walk up to me and ask me. I'm a security officer, so people have to come to me first. And I've had two that walk up to me and say, if you have a place where I can pray, can I pray here? And I mean, I've been kind of swift. Sometimes I'm slow, but I've been really swift. I was like, I am responsible for the security of this building, but there are decisions that I don't have the right to make. I can't tell you that there is a place in here that's designated for whatever. All I can do is direct you to the programs you need to go to and everything like that. But as far as that's concerned, I can't do it. And then yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, when God kind of just spoke to me and just said, you passed your test. Because I could have easily said, go right there. Go over here in this corner. You can do it right here. And they wanted to lay a cloth. They wanted to lay a cloth out and do it openly, And then I thought to myself, in this country, you belong to Jesus. You can pray any way you want to pray. You ain't got to go in the closet if you don't want to. You don't have to ask nobody if you can pray, because this is the land of the free and the home of the brave. And this country was built, foundation in Jesus Christ. And we can pray anywhere. So if somebody got to ask you if they can pray, something's wrong with it. They know they're not welcome to do that first. And so I thank God that I had the presence of mind to come up with something I didn't like. But I came up with something that kept me from saying, you can pray here. I'm not going to betray Christ. I'm not going to do that. I will give up that job first before I betray Christ. Everybody understand where I'm coming from?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's all I got to say.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let's keep on praising our Lord this morning. I'm going to sing this one from Rescue.
Praise the Lord.
actually executive director of Teen Challenge for a good number of years. And he had passed away July 2nd this year. And so there's a couple of the updates from Teen Challenge if you want to read about that. Let some folks have written about him. There's his wife and son who remain, and just pray for them. But good person. He had retired soon after I got here, maybe 2 years afterwards, but had a couple of good conversations with him in the course of that 2 years. Because of course we've had Teen Challenge come and share with us for, you guys did that before I got here, right? It was years. So it was a good opportunity to meet him. But yeah, pray for them. Continue to remember the folks with Teen Challenge and those who are serving now. As my guy graduated, I think, July 26th, maybe it was. And at that point in time, they had only about maybe 8 guys. And normally they were around about 18 to 20. So just keep on praying. They may have had an influx recently, I don't know. But just keep on praying for them. We're also going to pray for Hannah's Haven. They're on our list. I don't know if they're going to be making it here today. I'll touch base with them tomorrow and find out what happened. But I have an email confirming that they'll be here, but something may have come up, and I don't know what that might be. But we want to keep on praying for that ministry and just keep on lifting them up and praying for what God's doing through them. There is an update in the back that you can see from them on one of the hanging floors just outside of the doors here. So. And then, any other announcements? All good? Pray for teachers and all, getting back to the Zoom thing, school year, and kids will be starting the week from Monday, so we put them in thoughts and prayers. And how about this mountain? I had to give a little bit of a few clues. This morning to my bride, but this mountain in Israel is a symbolic name for the part of Jerusalem renamed the city of David. What is anybody? I'll give you some of the same clues if you don't know. Zion, that's right. Yes, Zion. And you read that a lot in the Psalms, and so of course that's where it came from.
I don't want to be around. I want to be around when you do
So
this.
next week should be co-author of a letter for the church. Maybe we should just go to the 1 Corinthians, Paul's letter to the Corinthians, the first letter to okay? All right, well, there's going to be no Wednesday meetings this Wednesday. Kids are not quite back in school yet. Sherry and Rice are going off, and so that just means we'll have the kids this week. But after school starts, it'll be 28th, August 28th. We'll start back up and be meeting at Lawrence. Going back into Romans, I think, at least, unless we decide to do something a little bit different. We're flexible.
If you want to stay,
So I'll draw your attention to our scripture meditation verse for this month. And, oops, what did I do? Oh, I had it at the part of the very beginning. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry about the mix up there. On my paper, just so you know, I was acting like a fool at the beginning of that song. On my paper, I didn't have the chorus first, and so I thought I screwed up and forgot that slide. And anyway, so just so what's going on here. But the scripture meditation verse is actually in the bulletin. It's Romans 5:1. So if you just read that with me here this morning, and we'll open in prayer. Actually, open, but we do not actually share small praises and prayer with us. So. Romans 5:1. Therefore, since we have been declared righteous by faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ. Father, thank you for having us. Thank you for giving us peace. Thank you for giving us hope in Christ our Savior. And Lord, we just come before you now. Lift up to you this opportunity to gather and worship. Don't know where our sisters are from Hannah's Haven. God, we pray your protection upon them. Pray that you draw them close to you. And reunite us soon. Not today, and that we can hear what you're doing through that ministry. God, we lift up the Kaiser family and pray for comfort for Dennis's loved ones. And it's Lord, reach down and touch them this morning. That our hearts, our eyes, our ears would be drawn to you, and that we would lift up our hands to worship this morning. So Father, we just come now and we give you praise and glory and honor. As we continue to worship you in spirit and in truth, loosen our tongues and fill our hearts and our minds with who you are, that we may bring you glory and honor in Jesus' name. We're going to actually cut you off here just for a second, sweetheart, but any other praises before we go get the tithes and offerings and have the usher?
Yeah,
Friday. And Dr. Bruder said that if he continues as well as he's doing, they will take a feeding tube out when he goes back to his next appointment in, I think, 4 weeks.
All right. Sharon?
Just to kind of follow up with what Mary was saying, it came back to my mind that the other day, the time that I've had to sit and not do much this last few days, I watched The Case for Christ by Lee Strobel. I never read the book. I heard it was really good, and I found it on Netflix, so I watched that. And I would recommend anybody that hasn't seen that to at least try to watch that movie, because it was really good, and it helps you to see, you know, the defense we have in the Bible and its authority and authenticity, and
Right.
you know, and just how to get by all the doubters.
Right.
And God always said He'd give you the words you need when you need them, Mary.
That's right.
I'm sure He did that, but it was very good. So if you haven't seen it, and you have an opportunity to watch it. It was good to see.
Amen.
And it'd be good if everybody that doubted would go to the extent this man did to
That's right.
figure it out.
Yeah, if you don't have Netflix or something else to watch on streaming, we have the DVD. So we'll glad to loan that out to you and let you borrow that. It is a good one, and it does show the veracity, the truthfulness of the scriptures. And it's awesome too, because it comes from the perspective of someone who's trying to disprove Christianity and save his wife from being a Christian.
That's right.
Saved his wife back into atheism in the process. Of course, you guys know, most of you know Lee Strobel's story, that he became a follower of Jesus and then wrote the book, The Case for Christ. He's written a variety of others, The Case for Christmas, The Case for Faith, and a variety of those other ones, but very powerful as he did his research, and the research led him not away from Christ, but to Christ. So another one like that, we don't have a story on his life, but Josh McDowell was a similar person who wrote a bit more lengthy and less readable book as far as, because Lee Strobel was a reporter, Pulitzer Prize-winning reporter, and so he, of course, writes with a fast-paced mentality. Josh McDowell writes like a researcher and a scientist, and so that's a very thorough book called The Evidence That Demands a Verdict. And good stuff in there. So, anybody else?
That one's easy to remember because it was part of our workshop, remember?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Letters to an American Christian. Oh my goodness. I think I went home and I was like, how could I forget that? But Letters to an American Christian. And so we haven't quite finished yet, but Lord willing, we will here real soon make that available to you all. I forward, for those of you guys get emails, I forward to you guys, various emails from Breakpoint or from Colson Center. And in that, oftentimes, they provide links or opportunities of books that are they're promoting. And there have been some really good ones lately that I think would be very helpful for us as we try to navigate the world in which we live. It's just not the same as even 10 years ago. And so we've got to be able to navigate that with wisdom, with humility, but also with truth. And so when you get those, I hope you don't just throw them in the trash. Hopefully you read them. They only take about a couple minutes to read. If we have the opportunity to listen to it, you can do that for a podcast or whatever. But good stuff there, and very, I think, pertinent to the current issues of the day. So, just keep that in mind. Anybody else? Any other praises or prayer requests? Okay.
I praise the Lord to have my daughter had a natural delivery. No inducement was necessary, 6 pounds, 13 ounces.
Sounds like a perfect baby.
And thank you for your prayers this summer. Right back here with us in the back. And Royce leaves out tomorrow, moves in her apartment permanently, starts grad school in about a week or so. So keep Royce in your prayers. They do kind of a year-round schedule, so we hope to see her at Christmas time and maybe before then. But even in the summer, she'll be in classes up there for grad school for the next 2 years. So excited for her, but we're going to miss her.
So give her a high five or a hug as you leave. All right, anybody else? Any other prayer requests or updates?
I'm just so thankful to be here today. Thank you for your prayers and cards. Just hope no one has to go through a ruptured disc. And I just know God's hand was in the whole timing. And just He had me in His hands, and I'm just so thankful the way everything fell into place and how quickly I was taken into surgery. But it was unbelievable pain. Like I said, I hope nobody ever has to experience that.
This could have happened when we were in Africa, because we were scheduled to be in Africa the next week, 4 weeks. And if she had gotten that in Botswana, I'm not sure what would have happened.
Yeah.
So,
But God's always in control. I'm so thankful for His grace.
All right. Well, as our ushers come forward to receive our tithes and offerings, let's give God thanks for how He's watched over us, how He's cared for us, how He's provided for our needs. Pray for wisdom to invest wisely. Lord, we just come before you right now. We give you thanks and praise. You are so good to us, so kind, gracious, and compassionate. And Lord, we thank you for the abundance of resources that you poured out upon us. Not just the ample financial resources. We are a very blessed people and country. But also just the simple things, water and food and the air we breathe, the way that our bodies function, and give us the opportunity to know you, the minds to think, the opportunity to read and to communicate with one another. Lord, we give you thanks for all these things that we oftentimes don't even think of. We just take for granted. Father, we want to be good stewards. We want to be like those servants who invest, whether it was 2 or 5 talents, or no matter how many things you entrusted to us. We want to be a blessing to you and to the people around us. So help us to invest those gifts that you've entrusted to us wisely. We pray that you would use us today here, Lord God, as we worship you, we'd be a source of encouragement to one another, but also, Lord, that as we receive these tithes and offerings, that we would have wisdom to know how to invest them for your glory and honor and praise. We want to lift up the name of Jesus. And so it's in His name we pray. Amen. I want to invite you to join us in singing this song again, another one that we've sung before. But you're welcome to stand if you want to. If you need to sit a little bit, I understand some of you probably just need to sit for a little bit, and that's okay. Let's sing this.
And there he bled and
now. We do not have to pray the exact right number of prayers. We don't have to do some type of rote memory. It's not about our education or about what caste we were born into, what ethnicity we are, what language we speak. But it's what your Son did on the cross for us. Through his life, his death, his resurrection, we can be born again. We can walk in newness of life. We can be resurrected out of a life that is mired in sin and death and be raised to new life, delivered from the kingdom of darkness and brought into the kingdom of light. And so we give you thanks for that, Father. Thank you for providing all that we needed through our Savior Jesus. We just want to come now before you, Lord, before your altar, and say, God, we come bringing our praises, bringing our thanksgiving, but we also come bringing our burdens, bringing the things that we need to confess and lay down, surrender to you. Things that we may have been holding on to that we've never should have. You never intended for us to hold on to. So Father, we come and we pray that you will draw us close to you this time of singing, this time of worship. Fix our eyes on you, Lord, we pray, for your glory and honor and praise. Messages that go contrary to God's word. Let's lay all those attacks say, greater is he who is in us than he who is in the world. Just sang about that. Now let's take up courage because of who Jesus is. Take up confidence in the one who not only created us, but who sustains us, who redeemed us, who lives within us. Let's take up hope, take up faith, let's especially take up love. For God is love. And he first loved us, and so let's let love be the defining factor in our hearts and lives. Father, we come before you this morning recognizing that we are clay, dust, like the grass, here today and gone tomorrow. We cannot measure our breaths. We don't know when we may take our last. But we can have confidence in who you are. The promise from Scripture is not that you would remove all struggle and all suffering and all pain from us, but that you would walk with us through it, and that you would give us victory over it. So God, help us to run to you confidently, with a hope that never fails. That we may live lives that worship you, not just on Sunday morning for an hour, but 24/7, 365 days a year. People will see by how we live, by how we interact with others, that our lives are a lifestyle of worship of you, the one true God. We know we can't do it on our own, so we ought to just lay it at your throne and say, help us, we pray. This moment of quietness, I just want to encourage you, if there's anything that you need to just, in your heart, to speak to God this morning, I want to encourage you to do that. Father, as we come before you this morning, we pray you help us see what you want us to see in your word today. Help us to hear the heart that you have for your people, as well as what we would turn our eyes and our hearts and our attentions to. God, we need you. Pray for your guidance and grace in Jesus' name. All right, well, I want to encourage you to turn to the first psalm Have you guys been reading through the Psalms this summer? Through the daily bread readings? Some of y'all? All right. One of those things that, well, number one, I'm just going to be flat out honest. If you're behind in the daily bread readings, this is the time to catch up. Because the Psalms are not that long. And so if you get behind a few days, you can read about 8 Psalms in about 10 minutes and get caught up right quick. Maybe even read ahead. So the summer is always a good time to pause there and to take the opportunity to read these poetry, I guess you'd call it, is what we said when we were doing our original study of the whole book of Psalms. Obviously, when we went through the survey, I don't know how long that was, of the Psalms, we had to cover a large swath of material in a short amount of time. But if you've read the Psalms, you recognize and understand that it almost seems like whoever's writing it may be up and down riding a roller coaster emotion. That was coming out in some of the Psalms that we read this past week. And one minute he's praising God and thanking Him for the way God has cared for His people over the past. And the next minute he's crying out, God, how long will you wait? How long will you wait to deliver us? And so it's really a beautiful illustration of the span of human emotions that we endure and encounter as human beings. But the first psalm actually kind of helps us kind of get right out the gate and help us to get the right focus of where we're headed when we look at some of these. And so I'll just read it out loud so you can read along with me if you like. I'm not quite sure what your translation might read. I have this one. This is one of those that I have in my head in the NIV. And so if I mess it up, I'm sorry, because I'm reading from the Christian Standard Bible. And so, how happy is the one who does not walk in the advice of the wicked, or stand in the pathway with sinners, or sit in the company of mockers. Instead, his delight is in the Lord's instruction, and he meditates on it day and night. He's like a tree planted beside flowing streams that bears its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever he does prospers. Pause. The wicked are not like this. Instead, they're like chaff that the wind blows away. Therefore, the wicked will not stand in the judgment, or sinners in the assembly of the righteous. Have a little pause there. For the Lord watches over the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked leads to ruin. Okay, so one of the things that you can see in the structure of these just 8 verses here, is that right? 6 verses. Can't see, it looks like an 8. Is that there's a contrast going on, a huge contrast. And obviously between what? The righteous and the wicked. Pretty simple and straightforward. And yet, the psalmist begins the conversation with the individual who's blessed, the individual who's happy, the individual who is joyful. Now that I have it in front of me, I can't even remember how it begins with the NIV. Blessed is he. Blessed is he. All right? So joyful, happy, blessed is the one who does not, and then the contrast between the one who's blessed, and of course, the indirect statement there of those who walk in the ways and in the negative ways who will not be blessed. Now, I had not seen this before, and I can't remember if I shared this with you or not, but I'm going to give credit where credit's due. Rick Boyd, a brother from seminary, had spoken to me about this a long time ago, but I share it with you, is there's a progression that's going on here in these first couple of verses. With blessed is he who does not walk in the advice of the wicked, or stand in the pathway of sinners, or sit in the company of mockers. You see how the progression is there? Where someone is walking with somebody, but then standing, now you've stopped in that position, and then now you not just only stopped in that position, but now you're going to take up a seat, and you're going to reside there for a while. And isn't it like that with sin, right? Where you may just see something in passing, but if you stop and you linger there, it has the opportunity to grab a hold of you
That's right.
And then as it grabs hold of you, then it kind of takes root. And you don't want to leave that sin, right? And that really kind of struck me as he had mentioned that to me about that progressive nature of sin. That it's not something that we just, most people don't just wake up and say, man, I just want to sin today, right? None of you guys probably said that. They probably said, I just want to wake up and I'm going to be mean to somebody. I just want to tear somebody's head off. Hopefully you didn't do that. But it really, it's one of those things that, something catches our attention or something just makes us frustrated. Something doesn't go right. I don't know, you drop your keys 5 times in the midst of the course of the morning and it lands on your big toe or something and you're thinking, what's going on here? But then you can either be like, man, that really stunk, and move on, or you can kind of sit there and linger there. And then before you know it, you look like Eeyore, and you got the ears down, and you're all blue, and woe is me, right? And so we got to be cautious and careful against that. And that's the first thing that he says in the Psalm 1:1. Blessed is the one who does not walk, stand, or sit in those areas. They're going to tear them down. They're going to destroy their walk with God. Now here comes the contrast. Instead, the one who's blessed, his delight is in what?
Yes. Yes.
Is in the Lord's instruction.
Yes.
Not in pleasing ourselves, not in entertainment, not in distracting ourselves so that we don't have to be quiet with God, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night.
Amen.
You see that there's this major contrast of how we can get settled into one particular attitude or state of mind, or we can reflect upon, meditate upon, actively pursue. It's like that with me. I think when I exercise, I'm going to confess to you all, because you guys know that I like to run. I haven't run in a long time, except on, what was it, yesterday? Just yesterday. And it wasn't really much of a run for me as far as like what I typically do, but hey, it was a good start. But that's the reality. I mean, if you have ever done, those of you who've had surgery, you're doing therapy right off the bat, right? You're doing what the doctor told you, and then what happens? You have a rough day, or you start to get better, and I don't need to do that as much, right? But really the continuous nature here, I think, is evident in that he meditates on his law day and night. It's not like, well, okay, you know what? I just read 10 Psalms, I'm good for the week. I'm not going to read anything more the rest of the week. And because by the end of the week, I'm probably going to have, my attitude's going to be a little rough. But day and night, reflecting upon God's truth, battling through the difficulties of this life, and constantly exercising.
Yeah.
Exercising our relationship with God. Now, I'm not trying to be like too scientific or too rigid there. But what I'm saying is when we begin to look at our walk with God as a walk with Him, like say we're walking down the trail. We walked a couple trails these past few weeks. And we're walking down the trail, and the minute I deviate from my companion, we're diverging. They're going down one path and I'm going down another. Sometimes those paths can find shortcuts back, but the reality is if we're in a walk with God, and we begin to, walk in the way of sinners, or stand in the seat of mockers, or, I'm sorry, I got that mixed up there, but if I begin to walk away from Him, God's not the one who moves away from us, we from Him. And most of the time it's because we're not doing this. We're not meditating on Him and His instruction day and night. We're not exercising. And we're not remaining in that abiding relationship with Him. That doesn't mean that it's all, happy-go-lucky peaches and cream and Pollyanna, nothing's ever wrong. But what I'm saying is that we have to be proactive, persistent in our pursuit.
Amen.
And I think that's what we see here in the first 2 verses. We have to, number one, reject the walking in the way of the wicked wicked and standing in the pathway of sinners and sitting in the seat of mockers. And instead we have to meditate, work hard at it, day and night. Now see, I want to say that just one more time, because lots of times I think we, especially in this culture today, think it should come easy. We become so instant in our gratification, instant in our, gee whiz, you can do an online educational experience. I'm not saying those are necessarily bad, but you can get a degree, real quick. You read a couple things, take a couple tests, and bam, you got it. And when we become so, we want things immediately, that when we get to this point, and we have to do the long obedience, and we have to do the day in, the day out, we look at someone else who may be doing that, and we say, well, why isn't it like that for me? Well, maybe it's not like that for me, is because I'm not staying in the meditation day and night.
That's right. That's right.
So we have to continue and to work at it. That person who makes the Lord's instruction his delight, who meditates on it, who works at it proactively, look at this illustration here. This is a great time to actually look at this passage because it's almost harvest time. You go to the farmer's market, see a variety of things there. And you want to come on over and pick some peppers, by the way. I got a bunch more banana peppers. If you liked them last week, come on over and pick them fresh. Eat them right off the vine. There's no pesticides on those suckers. But this is a beautiful illustration of those who remain in an intimate and growing relationship with God.
Yeah.
That is, he is like a tree planted beside flowing streams that bears its fruit in season and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever he does prospers.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yes.
Look at that illustration. Fruitfulness. What were we encouraged to do in the scriptures? Paul said in Galatians, right? Galatians 5, 22 and 23. I think it was one of our scripture memory verses from years ago. Right? The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. You have trouble with any of those 9? Or is your life overflowing with those 9? If you got an area in one of those 9 fruits, or fruit of the Spirit, maybe we need to look and see where we're planted. We need to see if we're getting stuck somewhere outside that stream of flowing water that will allow us to bear fruit in season. In season, at all times.
Yeah.
Remember, Paul said to Timothy, speak the word of God, speak the gospel in season and out of season.
Yeah. There
There is no season when we should say, okay, God, I got this. I'll see you in a little bit. There's no point in our lives where we feel like, I think I'm in good shape. I think I can coast the rest of the way on my journey of life. We should never be able to say that.
right.
If we do, we're going to end up, like in verse 1, eventually settling into a sedentary, slothful lifestyle, spiritually speaking, and end up having our testimony hindered. And people will look at us and wonder what's going on. I wonder if that's what some of the struggles have been with some of the more popular Christian writers, entertainers who have recently come out, I guess you might say, that the institutional Christianity is not what they thought it was. And they proclaim that they're illumined now as they've walked away from the church, or walked away from, and I don't mean the institutional church, I mean the ecclesia. And the process, I think that's a testimony to witness. I wonder if it's because they've planted themselves somewhere else rather than beside those streams of water, that intimacy with Christ. One person in particular, my heart goes out to him because I feel like he was like I was as a teenage boy, thinking that I had to do all the right things try to avoid all the wrong things, and that would make me a good Christian. Until someone told me the gospel. And said it's not about what you do, it's about what Jesus did for you.
Amen. Right.
And when we look at life that way, then we don't look at it from the perspective of, hey, I got to do this, this, and this in order to become a church member and a good Christian. How many times do we equate those two? Well, they went to church. So, a lot of people go to church but don't have a relationship with Jesus. It's not about going to a location. It's about having a relationship with the Creator, the Redeemer, and the Sustainer of our lives. And that is what saves us from stumbling, but it's what allows us to have an abundantly fruitful life. Where people can look at us and say, you know what? It really sucks, some of the things that you've gone through, but wow. What a witness and a testimony that you still walk with Jesus.
Amen.
That you still give praise to God. We may not do that perfectly, folks, but that's what our goal is, and that's what we're supposed to do. Now, that whole concept of whatever it does prospers, it doesn't necessarily mean like measuring that in terms of earthly blessings. It means that over the long haul of what we see, their life has been a fruitful life. Their life has been something that God has taken the rough spots and made them smooth. He has taken some of the struggles and the stumbles and the battles, and He's redeemed them.
Amen.
And made them something beautiful.
Yes.
That's a beautiful contrast. And I said pause on purpose at the end of verse 3 because, well, number one, there's a space here for me, but number two, I think the writer intended that. This is meant for corporate worship. And these words were spoken to the people in their worship time. And so, you begin with how blessed is the one who doesn't do this, and yet who remains in intimacy with God, because this is what happens.
Yes.
And then it goes on to provide another contrast here. And it's one of the more terrifying contrasts, you could say, as we begin to think that we move from one of that beautiful harvest to this life of fruitlessness, of dryness, and of chaff. The wicked are not like this. Instead, they're like chaff that the wind blows away. Therefore, the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the assembly of the righteous. Once again, it's not an institution that he's talking about here, but he's talking about in the presence of the one who is our Creator, Redeemer, and our Sustainer. Those who will come to that point in time when they realize that all they worked for, and all that they sought to put a hope in, is like a breath. Gone in a moment. Like grass. You want to avoid it. You want to avoid it. You don't want to linger there. You want to linger in that place where beside the streams of water. Notice the contrast between the two. Of the dryness versus the overflowing abundance. God provides us a beautiful illustration. We can look at a variety of things in life, and I'll just let you go there in your brain. When you look out at a farmland and it hasn't rained in weeks, and the struggles trying to get any fruit out of that garden, but then you see, well, kind of like what we've been having here in North Carolina, at least central North Carolina, with rainfall on a regular basis. And just walk on over and pick a pepper and see how fruit. Now, I have watered that some, but it's amazing how fruitful things can be when they have been supplied with what's required.
Yes.
And what we require is intimacy with our Creator.
Amen. Praise the Lord.
So we wrap it up in verse 6 with, "For the Lord watches over the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked leads to ruin." Just basically a summary statement, but once again providing the great contrast here that the psalmist kicks us off with in this Psalm 1, that God is watching over. That doesn't mean that we're not going to have struggles, but it does mean that He's got a plan to preserve and to protect and to redeem. And so He watches over the way of those who are planted by that stream of a constant, abiding flowing relationship that meditates on His Word day and night. But the contrast there is the way of the wicked leads to ruin, perishes. It's not going to last.
Amen.
It will come to ruin. And so I want to just encourage you with these words. Words that we can meditate upon. Whether it's the summer or winter or spring or fall, doesn't matter. And I won't sing the song. But in reality, we can bear fruit anytime in our lives, all times in our lives, by remaining in an intimate and growing relationship with our Lord and Savior, Jesus. So I want to just turn your attention there, maybe take that home today, linger upon it. Appreciate you tolerating a shorter message that was kind of impromptu. We'll get to the bottom of what's going on with Hannah's Haven and hopefully get them back here and such. But maybe a word that some of us needed to hear today, that we needed to take with us about remaining in that intimate and growing relationship with God so that we can bear overflowing fruitfulness in our lives. Father God, we come before you this morning. We give you thanks and praise for your goodness and your grace that's poured upon us each and every day. And Father, we ask that you would draw us closer today. God, if there's any of us that may have been beginning to walk in the way of sinners, or maybe there's some of us that have been standing in that situation rather than walking away from it, we've been lingering there. Maybe there's some of us who have gotten rooted. We don't know how to get out. We want upplanted from that place of sin and that place of rebellion, that place of fruitlessness that will never bring the joy or the gladness. Father, by the power of your Spirit, uproot. Give us a good, swift kick in the rear end to get us out of that pathway. Take us by the hand. Lead us to those streams. Those streams where we linger in intimacy with you and abide in a sustaining relationship with you. Your word is true. Jesus said, I am the vine, you are the branches. If a branch remains in me, he will bear much fruit. But the ones that don't bear the fruit, they're removed. Father, we want to bear fruit from you. So plant us in the right places. Turn our eyes to the things that would meditate upon you. Not only forgive us, God, but turn our hearts and minds around that we would walk ever near with you. And that as we walk on this journey of life, Lord, it would be an opportunity to sing your praises. To shout your name. Let's just sing on the last couple choruses there of We'll Come to the Altar and let's stand and sing this together.
Oh, come to the altar, the Father's arms are open wide. Forgiveness was offered, the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Oh, come to the altar, the Father's arms
home that is not made with earthly hands. That this clay, earthenware vessel, it may be perishing day by day, but our inward persons can be renewed day by day as well. So I want to encourage you to go with that truth and to cling to the reality that God does draw us closer and want us to walk with Him every year, each and every day. Go in peace.
Simon, you